But look, speaking of Worthy and speaking of wide receivers, we've been doing our top 5 and basically our breakdown of different position groups. We started with our top 5 quarterbacks. You see my guy Drake May, definitely one of those guys. We did top 5 running backs a week ago, and this week we are focusing on our wide receivers. Alex, hey, I'm coming to you. I started first last week. Top 5 wide receivers in 2023, and it's two sets of guys that are familiar with each other, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's 2 duos in this top 5 here. I'll go 5-1, so I can get the one out of the way that doesn't belong to one of those 2 schools. I went Dorian Singer of USC.
I like that.
This is a guy that's a very, very solid player. He gets to step into that number 1 role now that Jordan Addison's out the door, and you're playing with the best quarterback in college football. Mm-hmm. I think Dorian Singer's going to have a phenomenal year. Might even slide up to 2 or 3 by the end of the year here. I think he'll be that good. Number 3 and 4 are also from the Pac-12. They're both from Washington. Number 4 for me is Jalen McMillan, and number 3 is Rome Odunes. Odunes was solid last year as, I believe, a redshirt freshman. 75 catches for almost 1,150 yards and 7 touchdowns. And Michael Penix Jr., again, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. And you've got somebody like McMillan on the other side where you can't double cover either of these guys because it's just going to leave the other one on an island and they'll beat that matchup. So I think both those guys are going to eat this year. Number 1 and 2, as much as I hate to say it, are from Ohio State University.
Yeah.
Number 2, Emeka Egbuka, and number 1, this guy is in a absolute league of his own this year, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best receiver in all of college football last year, just not old enough to go to the draft, so he has to come back. He'll be a top 10, maybe even top 5 pick in next year's draft. I think top 5. He's that good. And I'm not excited to play those guys again this year, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, the only thing I'm doubting at Ohio State is the newer quarterback. But when you got 2 guys like this starting off, I mean, good gracious. Yeah, I'm with you on those guys being number 1 and 2. I mean, both guys, have been dominant. We saw what they did in the CFP in the semifinals game. So you have to put them up there. I think my only difference would be I'd put Singer above the second, McMillan. Yeah. And that's just because of the team that he's going to. Singer was able to do all that stuff at Arizona, and now that he's going to be playing with Caleb Williams and the fact that a couple guys, you got, Addison to the pros and Mario Williams. So, but I'm right there with you, man. And, we talked about it. I had it as one of the things I was going to talk about. We talked about best duos. Ohio State's, 1 and 2, but then at the same time, it's like, wow, Washington, all right, Michael Penix Jr., come on now.
Yeah, well, and then if you're talking duos, you have Dorian Singer and Mario Williams at USC is another very good duo. Dominic Levitt and Ladd McConkey at Georgia. You've got some very, very good duos in college football this year.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. And that transfer portal allows that to happen. And you got a lot of these guys moving around. And, hey, it makes for exciting football. I'm so excited to see what goes down this year with that.